Marco here again. Welcome back to Resonant Raz. We are not on experimental anymore. We are on version 2.7.0.0. We are on the new stable build. Woo! Now, if you have been playing earlier stable build 2.5, you can convert to 2.7, but there's certain things you need to do. What you want to do if you are on a 2.5 stable world and want to come along to what we're playing with here with Mechanism 6 and stuff, then what you need to do is, if you go onto the Resonant Raz forums, which is resonant-raz.com/forums, look in the mod pack update section. Resonant Raz 2.7 RR has been released, and look at Velotician's post in there, and it'll say some of the things you need to do. There's certain things are going to break. IC2 is gone from Resonant Raz in 2.7, for example, so anything IC2 is going to get taken out, but certain other things needs to be done, and Velotician has kindly put in there the things that you need to consider when you're changing. Right, so yeah, we're on a stable version. Very cool. Now, have you run out of power? You have run out of power. What I'm actually doing here is a little bit funky. I'm trying to man up the 5 blocks below my base. Now, my base is kind of ground to a halt because of the teleporter plan going messed up. So what I'm doing at the minute is, what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to work towards a QuarryPlus. Now, I mainly want a QuarryPlus just to clear out under my base because I want to build a large cavern area under my base. What I'm doing at the minute with the digital miner is I've set the config. Let's just stop that and look in the config again. I've set the config. I've put inverse mode on. There's nothing in the filter. I've set the minimum height to 55, the max to 60. So it's just basically mining out 5 levels underneath my base there. Now I've had to do a little bit of a change in the digital miner, and not in the digital miner, in the Steve's Factory Manager over here. Now, of course, mechanism that's taking ores into the processing across there. What I've done is, because the chest was just filling up with all the other junk that that I wanted to go into my AE network, I've added a second little group here. So I've come back out, so we've got a little AE input group, and basically what that's saying is, if we look inside it, is it's saying from that same ender chest I want to take things out of there, and what I've done is I've blacklisted the ores that I want to go into the mechanism system. So that basically that's saying take everything out of there that's not blacklisted and put it into the ME interface, which is over there, which puts things into the ME network. Wonderful. So that's getting all the dirt and stone and all stuff like that from the ender chest and instead into the ME network. Awesome. Now, this, as I was a quite a long discussion with Velotician and Kieran Dave on the IIC last night. This puts out a hell of a lot of power. Now, this changed. Check this out when it comes in. 43.5 generally, 43,500. I've got this state cell down here. I've set up a little state cell system that turns it off after 7 seconds. It can only run for 7 seconds before it fills the buffer, and that's put it into a Resonant Ender cell that's got a 10,000 RF a tick input speed as well. Now, this has got a config setting that is like a modifies the amount of power output. Now, on versions 0.2 and before, on the older versions of big reactors, I didn't have this interface. That has a different interface. Then the config had been changed to make these compatible with atomic science reactors. Now with the new changes, these are so much more powerful. 42,000 RF tick is ridiculous. I've mentioned to Velotician and Dave that I think that the modifier should be put back to standard. The standard modifier is 3. We're running with it set to 11. Which is putting out this stuff. If you put it to the standard modifier, which is 3, then it puts out 12,000 RF a tick. And 12,000 RF a tick is still like 1,200 MJ a tick. It's still a ridiculous amount. So it's not like it's a massive nerf back. But if I have my way, the config of big reactors will be getting changed to that. So you may want to grumble at me if you like the power output as it is and they change it, or you may want to change the config back yourself if they do change it. But I think 3 is more reasonable. This, you wouldn't want any other power source with the, it's just so powerful. There's no reason to have anything else, and I think it's putting out that much power that it's actually making atomic science not even considerable, because this is so much cheaper to set up. The time investment and the resource investment to build this reactor is minuscule compared to atomic science fusion reactor, for example. That said, it's not up to me. I just thought I'd share my opinion on it. That's going down slow now, so I'm guessing that's full, is it? Yep, sweet. So as you can see, I can fill up that very quick. Now, you may have just noticed I've got a real cheaty item in my inventory. QuarryPlus just left it here. He came to show me it. I'm going to show you in a second. Oh, there we go. Put that back on. We'll keep mining. So look, it's getting stuff like gravel. This has got full upgrades in, by the way. It's got 9 and 9. At the minute, it's getting a lot of gravel by the look of it. I'm not actually dumping anything. Everything's going into the chest here, so I need to make sure we don't overfill. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Right, yeah, this is from Darkcraft. This is an issue. This breaks everything. Now, Darkcraft is a lot better in 1.6 than it was in 1.5, but it seems that this item, I've heard a couple of things about it in the last couple of days in the IRC, and yeah, I can see why. What it does is it increases, you know, like Ender Lilies increase time for plants to grow, and Blood Magic Ritual increases the amount of ticks. Well, this can increase the ticks for anything, not just things that grow. So if I was to place this here in front of my salination plant, my separator, see, at the minute we're waiting for chlorine to be produced. In fact, what I should do is if I put it here, if I put it there, it's got like a 6 block range. Now, what you can do, if you right click it, you can change the mode to it. And you can just right click this and change it to hyper, and what you're going to see happening is it's sped up the rate that these machines are producing. So it's actually producing hydrogen chloride much quicker than standard. It's got like a 6 block range, so it should be making these run quicker as well. Look, these have got no speed upgrades. Look how quick they're going. So they're using 2 RF a tick, yet they're producing. They're going at that speed. I'm not going to use this personally. I just thought I'd show you it because QuarryPlus just showed me it, and he accidentally left it behind here. So thanks for that. Look how quick it's going for the brine. It's processing stuff so quick. Speaking of brine, I have made a second plant. I've been spending most of my efforts getting copper manufactured at the minute. So that's in range of it as well, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's with one of these. 2 of these next to each other to multiply each other. You could have one of these under every block under your floor, and then you just have a hyperspeed power plant. Yeah, it's not for me, but it's in the pack just so you know about it. And if you think it's overpowered, then let someone know. Right, I'll just quickly show you the salination plant. I've changed things around a bit. Now, I set this up quite badly, and I'll show you the reason why I got confused. These are just dummies. These are not. They've just got factory blocks in there. Yet they don't go anywhere. If we break the block here, what you'll see is what I've done is when I was doing the testing in my test world, I put the transfer pipe there, and I thought, oh, it doesn't connect, and I didn't actually test it. That's actually connected. It just doesn't look like it is. So I didn't test this way of doing things. If you remember, I had 32 salination, 32 aqueous accumulators. If we actually break through there, you'll see they've all gone. I've actually made 32 salination valves as well, and valves are actually more expensive, a lot more expensive than just blocks. So I've wasted a lot of resources making all these valves. You don't need them. You don't need them. With extra utilities, you don't need 32 aqueous accumulators at all. All you need is one node, one transfer node, with 16 mining upgrades, 16 speed upgrades. That is enough to get enough water into a full-size plant for just through just one valve. So you only need 2 valves per salination plant, you need one to put your water in, you need one to get your brine out. So I'm using fluid ducts to get my brine out into this ender tank. I have got 2 full-size ones, so if you come down here now, you can see that. If we come through here, you'll see this one comes right down to the floor now as well. So we've got 2 full-size salination plants. I've got these 2 stacks for 2 more, so I will have 4. What? The brine's no longer my bottleneck during the day. It still runs out during the night, but the bottleneck now. So I've just made it so this is all sealed, by the way. If you look down here, this is the only bit that's got any machinery, and I've already got the transfer nodes set up for the other 2, and I've already got the servos in there. So it's just a case of building the other 2 salination plants for a full size one. And yeah, that's so much cheaper than all them. One, because of the valves. One, because it's cheaper to make these than it is making 32 aqueous accumulators. So that was a bit of a date by me. And that was because the pipe threw me off. I didn't check it well enough. I put it there and I thought that's not connecting, and then I didn't see if it was actually connecting or not. So that was my bad. So now what I've got is 2. Let me sleep to keep this coming in. I've got 2 full-size, overpoweringly amazing. I've got 2 full-size salination plants producing at max temperature. And just FYI, this thing will also it works on anything. Look how quick the temperature's going up, and watch how quick the brine's going to start coming in. That's going in. See, it looks like 136, showing quite a lot. This one will be nice and steady. This one's just showing like 8 or 9. That's that making all the difference. Crazy item. Crazy. Right. I did a stream yesterday and it went kind of terribly wrong. What I was going to do, I was going to work on getting mob essence set up, but because my base is not how I want it, then I don't really know where to put this yet. I've got this here. I've got 1 sewer full of mob essence, and the rest is just getting wasted at the minute. What I want to do is I want to build this, but I want to build it exactly where I want it rather than having to pull it apart again. So what I want to do is I'm going to spend a couple of hours now. I'm actually working. I'm actually uploading my beginner's guide video. I'm doing this on Thursday. I had issues with my beginner's guide, so that's coming up late. While that's uploading, I am a little bit low on FPS because my PC is trying to upload that as well, and my bandwidth's kind of limited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a house when I can. Now I've decided, so that's just wasting XP, kills me. I decided I'm going to have like a mansion up here. I'm going to bring all my magic stuff across to here. The tower, I like it, but I'm going to have all my stuff on one site, I think. I'm kind of tempted to rebuild in a desert, so I can have the salination plant in the same place as well, but I think that's alright where it is. I'm going to kind of go for a Wayne Manor kind of looking mansion. But what I want to do is I want to put all my tech stuff in the secret labs, like the back cave, underneath. So that's why I am blowing for energy really quick. I'm going to have to just connect that direct eye. I'm blowing for energy really quick. Trying to clear out the underneath. Right, what I'm going to do then is I am going to connect this up so it's got the direct power line. I've got power under here somewhere. There we go. Did I mention I moved to basic universal cables? I don't know if I mentioned that in the stream or if I did it in the last video. I made the basic universal cables 200 RF a tick. They seem to be doing alright though, even at 200 RF a tick. I'm not sure if that's truly accurate, because that's feeding all them machines fine. Unless, well, them machines they're not using 200 RF a tick. So anyway, I digress. I'm gonna get a few things sorted, and then I'm gonna work on making this guy, this QuarryPlus. I'm gonna get a bit sorted together for that. So for that, I need some lasers, and I might even make some of these laser pluses because I've never used them. But we need to get a basic laser assembly set up first. So I'll get them bits ready. I'll get the power running to that. And I'll come back. I'm going to probably put that in the corner for now over there, and we'll start making some bits. Okay then, I've thrown some BC silicon bits together. That BC silicon is what limits you down to them things. That's the most basic stuff there. So I made some assembly tables. Oh, sorry, I made 8 assembly table. I made 16 lasers to be going on with. I'm gonna, when I've got the underground bit, I'm gonna have a big laser room. I've never had a big laser room. I've always wanted one, and I've just got a leadstone energy cell that was knocking around in one of my bags from when we first started. In fact, let's put them spare cables in there. Wonderful. So I've got a leadstone energy cell there, and I'm just running them redstone energy conduits that I ain't using anywhere because of that leak that we had before, that memory leak. So I've got a little setup here. What I can do now then is I can look at QuarryPlus. I can start making some of the things we need for QuarryPlus in here. So what we're going to need, well, we're going to need certainly QuarryPlus itself, which needs chest, yellow pipe wire, redstone, diamond chipsets, pulsating chipsets. We are going to need a enchant mover, which we're making there, which needs all these bits. Advanced crafting table, Jeebus, and pump plus we're probably going to need. So I'll get that bit made. That needs nothing out of here actually, but that just needs some of the resources. So I'll get all these bits made, and we're going to need some marker pluses as well, which need redstone, gold, and chipsets. So I wanted to get this bit done first, so I can start getting things in there producing. So I'm going to have to write down exactly how many bits I need for each of this and what resources I need to grab out of my AA network. Now, my AA network, I made this little remote order. It's not actually working at the minute because of the way I've set it up. If we're looking there at the minute, all it's got in there is sulfur. And that's because I'm using this ME interface to output sulfur into the processing over there. So that's making it so that this isn't working properly. What I actually need to do is create a secondary interface just for this chest, which I will do. I just haven't got around to yet. That just reminds me of what I saw in my chest there as well. Should show you that. I meant to show you that at the start of the episode and I forgot. I made this guy from Farmcraft 4. This is one of the new things I did in Farmcraft 4. It's a bone bow, I can't say that. I changed his name to Ultra Bone. I give it power 5. I'm breaking 3. I was shooting Pokefin a bit with yesterday. It's very strong. Now, have I got no arrow? There it is. Now, you can't actually hold a normal bow. You can hold it, not fire. This actually, as soon as it draws back, it fires. So it's all about releasing instincts. But look how far it goes. It's got some right range on it, and it fires real nice and quick. Does loads of damage. So that's a very nice bow to have. Quite simple to make. It's just string, 3 bones, and I think a entropy shard, maybe an order shard. I think an entropy shard. That's a very nice little item to have there. You can research that quite early on as well. Doesn't need infusion or anything. Very strong weapon. I like it. Right, I'll get all these bits together and I'll pop back in a bit. As you can see, I've connected power to that, so that's getting power direct from the big reactor now. That's working away. It's still very slow even with its upgrades. So I might have to force this along a bit with some manual mining down there as well. Back in a bit. Right then, I think I've got everything I'm going to need. So first of all, we need the basic quarry. So quarry, if you played Minecraft, modded Minecraft for any period of time, you know how to make a quarry. I'm also going to want a couple of Buildcraft pumps. So I've made 2 of them. They're real straightforward as well. So you combine them with tanks to get 2 pumps. I was just talking with Koyanti about. Koyanti wants a funky way to store his resources. I said put them in a spatial dimension, which I know nothing about, but I'd like to. Anyway, let's look back at QuarryPlus then. QuarryPlus. A couple of people tell me I don't need the art anymore, but I still like to use it mainly for stuff. I'm just kind of because I'm used to use it. But if you just put in chisel, for example, you get all the chisel blocks, but then you also get chiseled sandstone from forestry and all stuff like that. So I still actually like to use the art, so which gets me just the mod stuff personally. But you know, it's each their own. And what was I looking at again? QuarryPlus. No, there probably ain't going to be anything with QuarryPlus written in it apart from QuarryPlus, though, you know. But never mind. Right, so I think I've got all the bits in here that I need. Look at all this stuff. Crazy amount of stuff. Let's put my jumper back on. So this might take a bit of time to do all this. First one I do though is one that I've never used before. I want to make one of these first. I need 4 lasers for this, but I need 4 lasers anyway for one part of it. I think for the enchant mover. Yeah. I'm gonna start off by making this guy. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Shift clicking on there actually puts them into the table for you. I never knew that. That's awesome. Let's turn this guy on again. Of course, I don't know what I was thinking, putting a hardened energy cell there that has a max output of 80 RF a tick. It didn't work, as I'm sure you realise. So I've changed that for one of the Resonant energy cells. It's the one that was underneath these two. So that's fine. So there we go. This is going to take ages to make all these. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, cut again. What I've got is, I've got all the bits there to make the enchant mover. Now the enchant mover is how you get enchantments onto the QuarryPlus. You can enchant it so it's got silk touch and efficiency. So we'll be enchanting it once we've made it. So that is what we need the enchant mover for. So I've got all the bits for that, like I said. Now I'm actually using 4 of the lasers here, but I'm just going to take 4 of the lasers out of there. I want to see what capacity this laser's got once it's made. I've never made one. Next up we need Marker Plus. These use the basic landmarks, 4 golden chipsets and a wrench. So I should have 12 golden chipsets. There we go. 3 landmarks and 3 wrenches. So that's the bits we need for that. Then next up, we don't need mining well. The Pump Plus is going to let us pump water out of the quarry. It's going to let us deal with water, which is nice. Not 100% sure I need that. I think I need that. I forgot. I've only used one of these ones before. And with the Pump Plus, what I mean. And then of course there's the QuarryPlus itself, which uses the quarry that we just made, 8 chests, some yellow pipe wire, pulsating chipset, which is redstone and ender pearl, and redstone diamond chipset, which is just redstone and diamonds. So there's them. There's them. I've made too many of them. 2. Oh no, I need 4 there. I actually need 2 more of them. I'm actually too short on them, so I need to make 2 of them. So I get. It's gonna take ages, isn't it? That's with this amount of lasers. This is going to take ages. That needs 128, 1,280,000 MJ into there. I should have maybe done this last. Oh, the rest are all 320, so the rest shouldn't take us long. I'll come back when that's done, and we'll make the rest. We'll see what that does for us. That might be really quick. Right then, I have got myself a wonderful Laser Plus. Cool, so I've not actually put that on here yet. I was actually wanting to wait to see how much difference it made. I'm going to attach it when we start making the next item up, which is the enchant mover, which I forgot to make an assembly table for. So I'm just making the other 2 redstone diamond chipsets we need for the QuarryPlus. So that should be everything. In fact, this is going a bit slow, so let's see if this actually speeds things up significantly. So for the amount of stuff that went in it, doesn't seem massively different, does it? It doesn't actually tell me what I'm using here, doesn't it? So if we look here, we are using 54.6 MJ tick, and not many, mate. I can make ink flour. So let's get that rocking. So that's going to start making. It needs 320,000. We're running at 54. That's not getting enough power, is it? It's not getting to blue. There it is. So it's got to blue. That's going pretty quick. So I'll get the next bits made. I'll go help Corianti out by making him an ink flower. So next up, we need 2 of them, 1 of them, 16 of them, and our quarry. And what have I missed? Oh, 8 chests. Cool, so that I can get that QuarryPlus made, and then I'll make the rest of the bits. I'll come back when I've made them all, and then we can start putting things together. Now, quickly before I go and help Corge, let's jump down the hole here, and you'll see I've been a little bit conservative with the level of the floor I'm mining out. Digital miners, when you look at it, it always seems very powerful, but when you look at it this way, it's pretty slow, in this regard at least. So, actually, we're on the 3rd level, looks like we're mining up the 4th level now. Oh, I need to deal with that, don't I? Let's deal with that sewage. So I'll get that sorted, I'll help go, and I'll be back, and we should be ready. Yeah, we're on the 4th level, look. But if we look up there, I can actually dig out another couple of levels, really. 1, 2, 3. So I was 2 levels too low. Okay, right, back in a bit. Right then, I am back and I've got all these crafted. So I've got my 3 markers, my enchant mover, my quarry itself, and my pump plus. Now I've done a couple of derpy things in this episode. I've done a couple of things wrong. One thing I did wrong was the way I had this set up for the ender chest. It was clearly, when I start mining something fast, it's just going to fill this up with the ores that are waiting to go into the processing. So I've changed it around a little bit. It was very quick to change around. All I've done is, in there, I've cleared that blacklist out. So now anything that comes in through the ender chest goes into a network. And if we come out of there, and in the mechanism thing, the ores in, the input chest now, instead of being the ender chest, is now the ME interface. Easy as that. So I've just changed that around a little bit. So now what I need to do is I need to export the target items from this interface. So I've got room for 6. You can't have that last one done, otherwise nothing can come in. See, this needs space for things to come in. You can see things coming in through it as well. So you need to keep at least one empty for things to come in. But I need more than one interface eventually, but that'll do for that. The other thing I did forget was Pump Plus is it clears above it as well as below it. Like a normal quarry, if you want to put a normal quarry underground, then it takes ages digging out the 5 layers above it. So that's generally why I do stuff like this and clear the layers above it, because it just takes so long. But I forgot, QuarryPlus actually does that for you, so you can place it low down and it will sort things out above as well. So I'm gonna clear out all these sides using it. Now this only has a 32 radius, of course. It's just doing the last layer. I've moved it up when it's doing the above layer. Something's wrong here as well. I don't know what's wrong with the server, but we've got no mobs. Look, there should be mobs down here. So I'm going to mention it to Dave and Velo later when they're on the IRC. Something is set wrong in the server properties, because we ain't got no mobs. We should have. Where are you all, mobs? There's an issue that Arsebagica hecates are not aggroing. So I don't know if there's loads of hecates everywhere that have spawned in and then it's not doing anything. But something's certainly wrong in Dodge. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place one of my marker pluses there. I'm going to go over here, place one over in this corner. Now I've got a couple of ways of powering this. I can either, I was thinking of making a tesseract, but I think I'm just going to use. So yeah, all my base was designed to be right on one level because of the teleposer, the failed teleposer plan. So I can come right up. This is the grass. There will be an issue with water under that block. So I've got a water source there. But other than that, there should be no issues down here at all. So I'm actually wanting to man above here. I hope I don't get this wrong. I hope it is 5 blocks still for a QuarryPlus. If it's 6 blocks, I'm going to quarry on my base as well, which would be funny to see, but give me more work than I'd like at the minute. Now this won't be a big square when I'm done. I've got plans. I've got a plan of how I want to do this down here. It should look nice. It's going to have tree areas and a little lake and factory areas and stuff, so it should look alright. So we've got the 3 bits there and there. Now to link these, oh cool. Now what I could have done is I could have put a redstone signal on there and it would have shown me where they're linked anyway. They've linked, so that's all good. Now it's a case of putting the QuarryPlus down. Boop. And what I've noticed with this is it eats the landmarks, the special landmarks, so you need to make them again each time. I am going to want to put, I don't want to put that down yet. Shit. I have to break that again. I need to make some. I skipped a bit. I wasn't ready to do that bit. Son of it. Right, I need to make some more of them landmarks then. Ah, that's a bastard. I'll get some more made in just a minute. So what I should have done first was I should have put this guy down, the enchant mover. And what I want to do in here is I want to put the QuarryPlus in that side. And I've made a diamond pickaxe, and using the books up in the tower, I have given it efficiency, unbreaking and silk touch. This is what I should have done first. So now if I click on that 5 times, you'll see it's taken 5 levels of efficiency off there. Put one to the quarry. Same with 3 from breaking and 1 for silk touch. And now we've got a nice enchanted quarry. Wonderful. Now you can enchant the Pump Plus with some stuff as well. I can't remember which ones they are. You can't do everything on the Pump Plus, but we shouldn't need anything to do with that. There's not a great deal of liquid down there. It's not like a quarry in a sea or anything. So, right, I need to cut again, make some more landmarks. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that took quite a while to make again. I got a little bit bored, so I've ended up making a couple of Tesseracts. Tesseracts are really straightforward. Bronze, the Tinker's Construct one, Tinker's Alloy Ingot, is just 3 copper and 1 tin in your induction smelter. Gets you the bronze. It's nice and easy. And there's just silver, it's also easy. Tesseract frame full is just 4 ender pearls in the fluid transposer in the magma crucible, and your frame uses Endarium, which is possibly a little bit tricky until you get your head around it. It uses this Endarium blend, which is just tin shiny metal and a bucket of ender, so another 4 ender pearls for each of them, and you combine them in the induction smelter with the pyrotheum, which is pretty straightforward to make. So I've got them. I placed them downstairs again. So I'm going to use these Tesseracts. I thought I might as well. What I'm going to do, this brings its own problem though. One is I want 1 Tesseract to put in the power and bring up the items. So I want item mode. I want this one to receive. That's correct. Fluid mode disable, and energy mode send is what I want on this one. So device inactive, I'm going to make it a private network. I'm going to call it number 1. I'm going to give it a name. Quarry. No, just remote power. So number 1's called now called remote power, and we'll turn that. We'll leave that off for now. I can put a switch on there. In fact, let's keep it tidy. Let's have a switch on there, so I can turn it on and off if I want to. There we go. So we're going to put it on high to run, so it means the lever needs to be turned on for it to run. You see there it goes grey when it's off, and green when it's on. We want to be able to have this to output to that side as well now, so I can put energy in there. And because this is going to be receiving items, ideally I'd want it connected to the Steve's Factory Manager cable or an ME interface. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this ender chest that was on the back of the digital miner there for now. So it should put items into the same ender chest we've been getting stuff from before. So now I can go downstairs back to where I placed the things down. I'm going to need a couple of these. No, I've said that badly. I want a couple of these guys. Now, quarries these days, quarries still run on MJ of course, and Redstone Flux is RF. So you can't directly put a Tesseract onto a quarry or an energy cell or anything. What you need to do is you need to have one energy conduit in between it. What we can do here is, it's still going to be very tidy, is we'll put that away. So QuarryPlus goes down there again and eats them again. Our Tesseract is going to go on top. We want power to go into the Tesseracts, so from the Tesseract I mean. So this one needs setting up as well. It needs to be set so that this one is receiving energy, again fluid disable, and this one is send items. There we go. So the items will come out of the quarry into there. The power should be coming out of there once we set it to the right frequency. Oh, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to go like that. There we go. So that's now set to remote power as well. And it should be working away. Now the only other thing we need to do is fasten the QuarryPlus to this, which I'm going to put behind it. Sorry, the Pump Plus, should I say. Which doesn't matter where it goes really, I don't think. What that should do now is deal with any liquids it gets. I think I've done that right with the Pump Plus. As I say, I've only used this once or twice. So, is this getting power? So look, it's getting power. You can see it's getting power there. If we run down here, what it should be now doing is clearing out its path to put in the borders. Can we see anything happening yet? We can see over there, look. It's clearing out the blocks there. It needs to create its borders. So whereas a normal quarry would be deleting them blocks, I'm fairly confident that this doesn't actually delete them. I think it should be putting them into the network. Let's go have a look. Whee! Splash. Ouch. So there we go. You can see that's the things that your normal quarry would be destroying. That's pulling them all into the system. I've upped the speed. The speed of these triggers on these is, when you look at a trigger, by default, is oh, it's 1 second. Yes, I've left it the same. I thought it was 2 seconds by default, so I've left that the same. I've put the input trigger to 1 second. Look how quick it goes, oh Christ. I have to keep my eye on that. So now I can start to quarry out into my base, which means I can start to build what I want to build down there, which is going to be Umbrella Corporation-y and a little bit nice. It should be alright, should be. It's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So that is about as far as I can get at the minute, I think. Now I'm going to have to do some building off camera, so I'm going to wrap up the episode there. We've got our quarry going, our QuarryPlus. This is a quarry that you can do 256 by 256. If we do make a mining age, I may do some big quarrying to try and get a lot of essence berry bushes. Because this quarry picks up everything. It picks up beehives, because it's got silk touch, it picks up essence berry bushes. It works very well. So we'll hang around a little bit. We'll just see it start to build its frame. I think I've done all the sizing correctly. You can hear how quick it's going. Well, level 2 low, I think I've gone a level 2 low. Oh, never mind. Oh, you can already see over there, see where the water would have come in from the corner where my bait traps used to be. It's actually blocked the water off. Well, let's fly up then, I'll show you. There we go, look. It's created frames around the edge to block it off, and I'll do it all the way down, which is nice. But yeah, I've gone 1 level too low. Never mind. That means I've got 1 level to clear. I'll have this level to clear still all the way around. Well, yeah, that's not a big deal. Right then, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time when I should have the machines down in the basement and possibly the building, or some of the building upstairs done. Cheers. Bye.